Hello, and welcome back. I added a bush, a ghost, and bus stops to a cauldron and ended up with this. It all started a few weeks ago when I was going through one of my old sketchbooks and I found a bunch of very cute little illustrations that I wanted to turn into final works. I scanned them in and then I loaded them onto Clip Studio Paint and just started sketching the basic shapes of them, basically tracing them from my sketchbook. Then I took them and did a second pass over to make them a little more make sense, or just like change basic stuff. Very small changes, making sure they actually look a little more cohesive. I was playing around with the idea to actually add a frog somewhere, but I wasn't sure. I take one of the sketches then and start refining it a lot more, still working in the same file. I worked on shapes and the basic idea of what I would like to do, making it like a very slightly better pass than the first pass that I did. Once I am happy with the third sketch, I again go in with the grayscale. Yes, I am trying this again. I struggle with color, especially with in something like an environment, because it's very complicated. So yes, I am going in again with the grayscale, just trying to figure out the bare basics of it. Here I'm just going over everything one more time to make sure it looks good. I used the ruler tool for the little bus stop thing so that it looked correct. Then I went over that with a more drawn messy style, I guess. I had to draw the lines so many times to get them anything close to straight, and it was a bit of a hustle and a work to get it to the point where I wanted it, but I got there. Here I had a lot of fun adding in as much detail as I possibly could with the grass and all the things behind, adding little dots and lines and fun little things to make it feel more alive almost. When it came to style, Gravity Falls was one of my biggest inspirations. I love the way they do the backgrounds and it looks so cool. So I used it as my main inspiration for both coloring, line work and so on. If you are like me and you struggle a lot with coloring, you might need some practice. Introducing my line work. If you would like to color it for yourself and experiment a little bit, I will have a link to it down below where you can get it off of my Gumroad. I hope you enjoy! Now back to the video. Here I'm again just going in with a more refined grayscale. As you can see, I have a lot of steps that I go through to get to a point. I don't know what I'm doing. I used a Gravity Falls screen cap to guide me in what type of values I would like to use. So I took it, turned it grayscale, and basically copied the atmosphere exactly with my own painting, but I pretty much copied the atmosphere trying to learn from other people. So basically, like, environment paintings is very confusing for me and I don't know how to tackle it at all. So I broke the whole painting up into sections and then assigned a gray color to that section and trying to interpret the Gravity Falls screen cap that I saw and trying to add it to my painting while still trying to figure out how exactly I would like it to look. So that was a bit of a juggling process. if anyone has any tips or tricks on coloring and like coloring environments and designing and drawing environments, videos, anything like that, please leave them in the comments. I would really appreciate that, because it was, my brain not braining. It was not braining at all. It took me quite a bit to figure this out, to be honest. I use a normal round brush that you can find in like most drawing softwares, with an opacity setting, meaning that if I added pressure it would give a lot more color, and when I didn't add as much pressure it would draw a lot lighter, giving this almost sculpting effect that I'm trying to get in my own art. I used the same screen cap that I used throughout this whole thing, and basically stole the colors as well. Because what better way to figure out colors and something that you don't understand yet than stealing them from someone that knows what they are doing, or referencing them from someone that knows what they are doing, because I do not. So I basically tried to get as close as I could to the colors, and then added a little bit of adjustments until I was happy with it. This was just one layer, all set to overlay. I did play around with the layer modes a bit, but I ended up staying with with overlay because I liked the way it looked the most. But I got so frustrated with this part because nothing, and I mean nothing, was working. It looked terrible in my opinion at that moment. I was frustrated, I was struggling, it was late. Oh, it was not a fun time. So I just kept working on it at that night, and at some point I just kind of gave up, went to bed, gave it 2 days and got back to it later because it was frustrating me so much. But when I got back to it the next day, I used a super fun texture brush that you can get from the Clip Stereo Paint library or materials library. Yeah. Either way, I really like this brush. It makes everything look so mwah. I like it. Gazo. What program do you use to draw, or what medium do you use to make your art? If you do use a program, please leave it in the comments below, and what type of brushes you use. My goal for this work specifically was kind of to get a little bit of a storybook feel, sculpting. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it feels like the artwork is a lot more alive, feels a lot more vivid almost. And the artworks that I've seen uses a lot of texture in their work, and I really like the way it looks, especially because the more away from the focal point you go, the more, or the less actually, the less detail there is in the work. So yeah, that was kind of my idea. I don't think I executed 100% correctly, but either way, I do think this was a pretty good practice either way. I can't talk today, apparently. So when it kind of looks like everything is just standing still is when I am adding a lot of tiny detail that you're probably not gonna see, to be honest, that only bothered me and only I could see. So like a crazy person, I went in and changed the little details until I was 100% happy with it, or at least 85% happy with it. Here I added a layer above absolutely everything in the painting so far and started painting over it a little bit. I saw a very nice reference photo somewhere that I kind of lost, so I was doing this from my brain and nothing but my brain. So I wasn't using a reference or a visual reference, I was just trying to pull it out of my noggin. It worked this time, but I would like to find more references that I can pull from if I want to try something like this again. At some point, I remembered that I forgot the little ghosty, so I just started sketching them out using a lot of different references of how it will look. I gave him a backpack and a little flower or a little leaves. Going in quickly doing some line work of it, and then just adding colors. My sister came in somewhere and was like, why does he have blue boots? And I'm like, because I wanted to give him blue boots. And she's like, no, we should have pink ones. I'm like, okay. So he has pink boots. Did you need to hear that story? No. Did I tell it to you? Yes. Deal with it. And here is the final pieces. One without the little ghosty, just because I can, and then with the little ghosty. Kinda let me know if you would ever hang this on your wall or put this on your mousepad, because I was kind of thinking of putting it on my own mousepad for at home. I don't know. What do you think? Please leave it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you had a wonderful time. Thank you for listening to my rambles, and safe travels for everyone. Until next time, bye!